Till is tightrope walking. As a child, Till was a real rascal. He annoyed the villagers whenever he could. They always complained to his parents, but mostly there was no proof about what he had done. And then his father punished him because he thought, the villagers will be right and it can't be wrong. But he never really knew why he was punishing the boy. Well, that annoyed little Till. And then he annoyed the villagers again, and then the villagers got even more angry, and in the end, Till was punished again. Over time, this became too stressful for the father. He got sick and died. The mother moved away with the boy to her home village on the river Saale. Till was now 16 years old and should start taking up a job, but he didn't think of it in his wildest dreams. Instead, he learned how to walk tightrope on the laundry rope that was pulled on the rooftop floor. If his mother caught him doing it, he would climb out of a tiny window and sit on the roof. He waited there until she was calm again. The rooftop floor window pointed out to the river. And when Till was able to do some tightrope walking, he stretched the rope from the rooftop floor across the hall to the floor window of a house on the other river bank. The children who had seen this and the neighbors were looking out their windows, opened their eyes and mouths as Till stepped onto the rope and slowly balanced on it without falling. People gathered on both banks and looked up into the air. They were almost as tense as the rope. Eventually, Eulenspiegel's mother also noticed that something was going on. She climbed on the rooftop floor as fast as possible, looked out the window, and gasped. Her son was in the middle of the river on the clothesline and did tricks. In that moment, she took the potato peeling knife out of her pocket and cut, ding, the line. And Till, who hadn't noticed anything, fell out of all his clouds, so to speak. He fell out of his clouds into the river and, instead of dancing on the rope, had to take a bath in the river bed. The children and the neighbors and everyone else who saw it were dying of laughter and annoyed Till with gleeful shouting. He crawled to the bank and pretended he hadn't heard anything, but he made up his mind to pay them back for their glee, if possible, with them earning interest. So the very next day he stretched the rope again. This time he didn't attach it to his mother's floor window, because he didn't want to bath in the river again. Because, as they say, bathing too often is thinning the skin. No, he stretched the rope between two other houses high up in the air, but so that Mrs. Eulenspiegel couldn't see it. Of course, the children came running again, and the farmers came too, and they laughed and joked about Till and asked if he wanted to fall off the rope again. Some shouted that he has to fall down or they wouldn't be enjoying the whole thing. But Eulenspiegel said, "Today I'll show you something even more beautiful. All you have to do is take off your left shoes and put them on the rope with me. Otherwise, I can't do the trick." At first, they didn't really want to, but then one by one took off his left boot, and finally Till had 120 left shoes in front of him. He tied them with the laces and climbed the rope, loaded with a mountain of boots. Below him were 120 spectators, each with only one shoe on their feet. Eulenspiegel now, carefully balancing, walked forward step by step on the rope with a huge bundle of shoes. When he got to the middle of the rope, He untied the laces and called, "Watch out!" And then he threw the 120 shoes down into the street. "There you have your slippers back," he shouted, laughing. "But be careful not to mix them up." There were now 120 shoes on the street, and there were 120 people, each with one shoe less. And then they were pouncing on the shoes like crazy. Everyone was looking for whatever was theirs. And soon the most awesome fight was going on. People beat each other and pulled their hair and rolled around in the street shouting. It was an hour and 43 minutes before everyone got their left shoe back. But the poor people looked terrible. They had bumps on their heads and holes in their pants, 7 teeth laid on the street, and 19 farmers and 11 children could hardly go home because they limped. They all swore, however, that if they caught him, they would teach Till a lesson. Only getting him caught was difficult because Till didn't go outside for 3 months. He sat in his mother's house the whole time, and she was so happy and said, "That's right, my son, you have finally become wise." Poor Mom.